What's up, guys? In this video I'll talk about my thoughts on living and growing up in the West as an Asian. I made a similar video on this in the past, but that was more like in general, or like dating. I think how hard it is to find a girlfriend and stuff. But now I'm gonna talk more about the family stuff, the how it affects your personality and the person in general. So many people might not think it's a big deal, but it actually is more of a deal than people think. Because when you grow up in a foreign country where you are a minority, it affects your psyche that you have to always be careful about what you say in your amongst the other people. Like you are a guest, and you whenever they won't like you, you they can like bully you into oblivion as much as they want to, because you are not in your own homeland, right? So that's just the harsh truth. You cannot hide behind laws or social rules. It's just the reality, how things are. You can call them, you're racist, yada yada, but in reality it doesn't matter, because it is what it is, right? So it affects your psyche that you are always cautious and careful, and you aren't as outspoken, like you don't open up as much as a person if you didn't grow up amongst people that accept you as a homie. And it's difficult because the parents are usually too busy making money, securing the family, that they don't really care or notice that the child is struggling while growing up. It's tough out there. And the parents usually have this Asian mentality and European mentality, or even African mentality, or anywhere. Every country has a different mentality, right? So this is also something the child has to deal with. The parents don't acknowledge and don't support. A lot of times they are so stuck up in their own ways, the Asian ways. But we are in a different environment. We gotta adapt to survive, or to be able to live, right? Without conflicts, without problems. But they don't acknowledge it. They don't support you. So it's tough. And usually then there's conflict between the parents and the children. There's misunderstanding because the parents don't care about understanding their child that is struggling with all these problems, assimilating to the environment, and then being forced, being different, having a different mentality in the household. It's tough. So it's not healthy for the individual, for the growth of an individual, or let's say fulfilling the potential of an individual. as a time to be developing the potential or nurturing it. Time and effort is spent on the assimilation, adjustment of your character, of your thinking, of your ways. And it's not only hindering of the minority, but also of the environment as a whole. In homogeneous societies, the society is able to grow as it doesn't have to deal with all this conflict, right? It can grow vertical as it doesn't have to deal with all these issues, conflicts of cultures that keep like contradicting or just always differences between them that have to be like addressed and finding compromises, right? Common ground, and then it's able to grow upwards. But usually that takes a lot of time, maybe decades, centuries, before a new culture is created. But why do we have to deal with that if we don't, right? So this multiculturalism doesn't work. It's not good. It's not healthy for the society, for the people. Sure, it can be beneficial if people from other cultures or countries came to visit for some time, but not to live in the country. Come to visit so that people experience something new, someone new, learn. It expands your mind. But if they come to live here, it's not good. As you are not amongst your own kin, that also plays a role in how you feel. You know what they say? Birds of the same color or with the same feather flock together, something like that. And it's true. People by default, by blood memory, or I don't know what it is, right? By default are drawn to their own kin. It's just what you are used to, what you are familiar with throughout your past, throughout your life, through your ancestry. Excuse me. And I feel it on myself that I'm missing this. My kin doesn't really accept me because, or they kind of do, but I still feel like an outsider, kind of. Because I don't speak my own language very well, so I cannot have a conversation, like a proper conversation. I can answer questions, kind of, or ask, like the easy questions, but I cannot have a deep conversation with my own kin. And that's a disconnection. And with Europeans, I can feel and I can see that, our minds work differently. We can be like homies, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not like absolute. There's something missing. And the mindset is very different because For example, the Asian mindset is more, it's shaped by the culture, right? So Asians obey the system so much, like the status quo. Don't be sticking out, or you're gonna get hit by the hammer, type of thing. Deviancy is unaccepted, right? That can be a good thing, but also a bad thing. Yeah, if the system abuses this fact about these people, then you're screwed. And Europeans also, think differently. So, yeah, it's rough. And what can we do about this? I think that everyone should sort of return to their homeland, even if they don't speak the language. It's probably for the better if everyone returned, right? Because I kind of feel like, I don't know, it's like a penguin in a forest, tropical forest, for example. It's not your own environment, right? You know, it is what it is, man. So, I know nothing about my traditions, or the tradition of my kin. I don't know, man. So, we need a sense of belonging, fulfill our sense of belonging. Everybody wants to belong somewhere, wants to be accepted. But nowadays, it's not just being of a different race. It's in society in general, in the Western world, mostly, that people don't belong anywhere. People aren't accepted anywhere as individuals unless they fake their personality. They do anything just to be accepted by people who don't care about them. It's not worth the trade-off. So, yeah, those are my thoughts. How I lost touch with my roots. I've been born here, but I still feel like, like homesick, or that I should return to my homeland. It's weird. I even though I love it here, I love people here, I love the nature. I don't know. Part of me wants to stay here, but part of me is telling me that I should return. I don't know. What's gonna happen? That's in the stars. Thanks for listening.